You're listening to a Countout Podcast.
What it is, what's up, and welcome everyone to Okada Shorts G Wondering Night 7. That's right, this thing's moving at a quick and swift pace. I can't even believe that we're already this far into the tournament. For anybody who isn't aware, the G Wondering series is quick, short episodes, just with our immediate takes on the tournament matches each night of G1 Climax 32. I'm your bad friend, Raffe Houston. Your good friend, Curtis Spears, will be reviewing the next night after this, and we'll have reviewed the previous night, actually, by the time I drop this. He'd had a big work time, and so was going to be recording it like in the middle of the night under the cover of darkness. Well, for me, I'm also reviewing this under cover of darkness. It's now 5:59 a.m. in Perth, Western Australia. I'm looking out this big window and it's completely dark, not a hint of sun yet. So yeah, nice early start to the day to talk about some New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, I'll be honest, this one didn't look too hot on paper when I was getting ready to watch it. And it took a couple of matches for me to even start to care. It had been a long, flat day at work. And I was really, struggling to care. I was even surprised this one I had just done, night 5 not that long ago, and then it was like night 7 again. And I was like, oh, how did I used to do these on my own every single day? It starts off with Yujiro versus Will Ospreay. Yujiro comes out looking all sad. I'm like, well, this is interesting. Peter has left him for El Phantasmo, and he's sad, and maybe we're going to see a different Yuge. But before he could even be announced, Peter came from the back, and they made up, and everything's right with the world, I guess. I was actually more interested in her being with El Phantasmo and him being on his own, for change and for something different. But they've just reset those pieces, so we'll see if they stay reset. Will Ospreay did a really good job in this match. I think a lot of people wouldn't be, super pumped to see, somebody like him versus Yuge. But, he worked really hard to make Yuge look really good. He kind of came off really cocky, like he was maybe taking him too light, and then the first thing that happens is Yuge gets the upper hand. But yeah, the match itself was pretty fast. There's not heaps to speak on. I will say that Ospreay started doing that hidden blade from the front on more people. That's how he finished Yuge, like he did ELP. And I think it makes it look even more brutal. And maybe it's even easier for people to take that way because they can see him coming and time it better. I don't know. But yeah, it looked really cool. And yeah, Ospreay picks up the 2 points, which is unsurprising. After that was Yano versus Fale. Also a little bit surprising. I wasn't surprised that Fale won. I was surprised that he, just had to roll up Yano rather than bad luck falling in or grenade or some really dominant win. But yeah, he outcrafties the Master Thief and picks up 2 points there. That was a match that happened. After that, it was. Oh, actually, it's worth saying as well that Fale actually from the start of that match wasn't really falling for Yato's bullshit because Yato was still the thing, like sitting outside the ring and trying to get him to come, and he just set up a chair and sat in the ring, and Yato had to come in. So, you know, there was still some character stuff in there that was fun. After that, it was Aaron Hanare versus Hiroki Goto in a really cool match. Like for me, I thought like it was a real physical, body shots, like physical affair that I really enjoyed. I think Hanare's moveset is really developing, and he's making the most of this G1 and working really, really hard. I was kind of a little bit disappointed that Goto won because I feel like there's a little bit more value in like putting some wins on Hanare's name right now. I mean, Goto is who he is, but he's on the downslide and kind of tail end of his career. I think it wouldn't have hurt to, throw a few points Hanare's way on this one as well. Because I'm like, if Hanare can beat Tanahashi, surely he can beat Goto. But, this is the way these things go. So the math worked out that Goto had to take the win on this. But Hanare by any means didn't look weak in defeat. Like it took everything Goto had. Like it felt like every finisher variation, every single thing he had to get that win over Hanare. And yeah, I loved it. I also love how well they've done building Hanare's new finisher, like the full Nelson Ultima kind of submission hold, because like the near falls you kind of get with it when he locks it on and stuff, that like it's all sold like it's the end of the world, like if he ever gets it. And I think that's really well done. And it's a simple hold, the full Nelson has been around forever, but they've done a great job in making it seem like a threat because he's the one doing it. So, yeah, I've really enjoyed that too. And then after that, we had, it was, why am I forgetting who it was? It was, Jesus Christ, Ishii versus Tama Tonga. You know what? I was thinking it was Ishii, but I feel like he's already wrestled like 100 times in this tournament, so that's what kind of caught me off guard. How many matches has he had so far? So what? He's already had 3 matches and only picked up 2 points. Yeah, so he picked up 2 points over Tama here. And this was another one where I thought Tama was going to win this. It was kind of a bit of an old boy block, I guess. Tama was working really hard. He knew sort of hot baby face Tama is like really impressive. And they were actually so good together in this. Like so many like fun reversals and changes. Like Tama's spring on that gun stun, and then he hits it, and he just pauses in the air for a second, and then, Ishii converts it into like a back suplex or whatever, and you're just like, oh, fuck. But again, it doesn't weaken Tama. He went through an absolute war with Ishii to achieve it, and those are the kind of battles that are going to help bring him, to the level he's going to be. How many wins is Tama on? He's got 1 win at the moment. I think in our Pick'em contest, I've got Tama finishing on 3 wins for this tournament. So, had I picked him? Yeah, I had picked him to beat Ishii. So I think he'll pick up something else in this tournament, and maybe they're building towards a big upset win against Jay White at the end. I don't know if that'll really happen. I'm kind of feeling like Jay White's going to sweep the block. But yeah, I think Tama's got, some more wins in him before this is all said and gone. Really enjoyed the match, and the fire out of these guys is just absolutely killer. So yeah, all in all, it wasn't the most pumped I have been, and probably my mental state through work and stuff really kind of affected that. But everybody worked really hard. They put on like an awesome night of wrestling. And by the end, I was in a much better mood from having watched it. To run you guys through the standings, what do we have? Okay, so in case Curtis doesn't run down the July 26th pick'ems in his episode, Chase Owens beat Great O'Khan. Nobody picked that happening. Evil beat Kenta. Myself, Curtis and Travis all picked Evil, and both Amy and Mo did not. Tom Lawler was defeated by Lance Archer, which Curtis, Travis, and Mo all got correct. And then Finlay beat Juice, and I was the only person to pick Finlay. Ospreay versus Yujiro, we all got Ospreay correct. Yano versus Farley, myself, Travis, and Amy all picked Farley to beat him. Goto and Hanare, Curtis and Travis both picked Goto over Hanare. How dare you? And then Ishii versus Tama Tonga. Both Curtis, Amy, and Mo all picked Ishii. So, current standings as of today, your boy is leading the pack on 17. Curtis is 16. Travis is 14. Amy is 16. Mo is 14. So it's still a very tight race in the G Wondering Pick'ems to become the G Wondering champion. So we will see how that plays out. The next G1 night is Saturday, July 30th, and we're going to see Finlay versus Shingo. I have picked Shingo. Tom Lawler versus Jonah, and I have picked Jonah. Unfortunately for Tom Lawler, he's probably going to go 2 in a row there of first round losses, but I don't think I see Jonah taking like another loss in this. I think they're about to build a monster with him. I think they just had to get like a messy little loss out of the way, with Yano, give him a couple of weeks off and then reset and go, okay, now he's a monster. So I feel like that's the way we're going to go. Sonata versus Great O'Khan, I've picked Sonata, and then Tanahashi versus ZSJ. I have picked ZSJ. I've picked Sonata to win this block. That's my worst case scenario. I was really hoping he was going to have quite a bit more fire. And yeah, it was start to see shades of the Sonata we were seeing back when, he won the US title. So I don't love that. I think Jay White is going to sweep the block, but let's hope that's the case. I mean, for my pick'ems, that's not the best, but for my mental health, it will be better. All right, guys. So if you want to check out Okada Shorts on Instagram and on Twitter, check us out at Okada Shorts. If you want to follow me, you can get me at Faces Feelscast. If you want to check out Curtis, it's El Destructo 83. Check out the wonderful people at Count Out Pod that post our stuff online and support us and help with editing when we can't do it. That is at Count Out Pod. And if you want to get yourself a banger theme like the Okada Shorts theme, hit up my boy Owen at Riff Your Pod. Until then, you can also check out our link tree, which is linktr.ee/Okada Shorts to see all those links and to stream our episodes or jump to whichever podcast provider you like. All the links are there in the link tree. Okay, so until then, rate and subscribe, listen or die, keep it right, keep it tight, and most importantly, keep it what? Keep it short.
Hi guys, this is Lauren, your proud host of Your Dose of Death. Just giving you a little quick tune in to make sure to listen to Your Dose of Death. Each and every single episode, I provide a different lens into the world of deathmatch, whether it be wrestlers, content creators, or anyone in between. Make sure to listen to me each and every single episode to get a different lens into the death. And please, make sure to listen to Your Dose of Death.
This has been a Count Out Podcast.